Hey everybody, this is chapter 1, section 5. We're adding and subtracting real numbers. Just please make sure that when you're taking notes during this, I kind of go kind of quick. So if I'm going too fast, hit pause, get your notes caught up, and then hit play again. Okay. A couple definitions we have here at the top. We have absolute value, which is looking at the value of specific numbers and has to kind of do with a number line. So it's really the distance from a number and zero on a number line.
Michael Chartier, please come to the College and Career Center. Michael Chartier.
Second definition here is opposites, and it's two numbers that are the same distance from zero. So we're looking at number lines here to kind of teach what absolute value is and also teach about opposites and distance. Okay, so taking a look at this particular one, we're going to use the number line. This is a positive 3, and we're looking, how far is that from zero? Well, for me, it's right here. This here is 0, and I'm going to add positive 5 to it, so I'm going in the positive direction, and that's going to get me to 8. Okay, so just kind of using the number line. I know that seems kind of, I've done this like in kindergarten basically, but we really want to kind of get a good sense of positive and negative numbers. All right. Same thing here. This one's a little bit different. Same type of problem, but we did change the sign on that. So we're still looking. We started at 3, but now we're going in the negative direction 5. And where do we end up? Well, now we end up at -2. Okay. So kind of using the same type of numbers. This time I'm starting at -3, but I'm going in the positive direction 5. Where do I end up? And I end up at +2. Okay. So some kids struggle with numbers having different signs, etc. We just want to make sure that we have this down as we kind of move forward. Okay, a little bit of review, but making sure we know what we're doing moving forward. We're going to start it on the -3, so 3 away from 0. And I'm adding, but I'm adding a -5, so that tells me to go in the negative direction this time. So really, when I'm adding negatives, I'm getting really a bigger negative number, so I end up at -8. Okay. All right, so it might be you have difficulty with this. Sketch a number line, kind of use that to help you until you kind of get this down. You don't have to draw a number line. All right. So kind of doing these two. Want to make sure that you can do these without a calculator. All right. If you need to use one, you need to use one. It's just important that when you do that, use the negative sign instead of the subtraction sign. You'll see it's down there at the bottom of the calculator. Usually it's in parentheses. That's what you want to use, and then put a number after it. Okay. So I'm going to let you do these on your own. I think you can do this on your own, hopefully. So if you want to hit pause and then do them and then come back and hit play, you can get the solutions. Okay. All right. So -12 plus 7 is a -5. All right. -18 plus a -2, if you remember from the previous one, that I'm going to get a bigger negative number, so I get -20. Okay, 9.5 minus 4.8 is kind of how I do it. So sometimes in my head, what I do is I just turn this around a little bit. Okay, and when I do that, then I should have gotten 4.7. Okay. When you're adding and subtracting fractions, we kind of had a practice on this last week, or actually this week, I think. I need to, when I'm adding stuff, I need to make sure I have the same denominator. So I'm looking here, if I don't have the same denominator, 4 can't go into 6 evenly. So I look for a number that both 4 and 6 go into, and I believe that's 12. Okay. So I look at what did I have to multiply the 4 by to get 12. So I had to multiply it by 3, so that means I need to do it to the top. So 3 times 3 is 9. Okay. I look at the other one. What did I make what did I have to do the 6 to make it a 12? I had to multiply it by by 2.
Michael Chartier, please come to the College and Career Center. Michael Chartier, please come
So
to the
5
College and Career
times
Center.
2 is 10. Okay. Now I got to remember I'm adding a negative value, so really this really kind of looks like 9 over 12 minus 10 over 12. Okay. So I'm kind of changing that up a little bit just so it's easier for me, and that gets me a negative 1 over 12. Okay. All right. Down here for section 3 then. We're looking at sometimes adding, subtracting things and understanding rules. When I'm for here, I'm going -8 minus a -13, and when we have that situation, I want to change the sign. So I'm going to change that one and the one that follows it. That's kind of how I learned it. Some of you guys might have learned zip and then zap. Okay. Whatever helps you to learn it or remember it. So now I get -8 plus 13. That should get me a 5. Okay. And once again, I look at this one and I kind of go, well, this way I do it. Which number is bigger? Well, that 12.5 is bigger than 3.5, but the sign in front of it's negative. So right away that tells me my answer should be negative. And then I go, well, how far apart are 12.5 and 3.5? And they're 9 apart. So that would be my answer. That's kind of how I do it, or how I kind of think about it in my head. You could go 3.5 minus 12.5 and get the same answer. Just got to get a feel for what's best for you, how to remember how to do those. Okay. We have some little rule here you got to remember. It's always true that A plus B equals B plus A. So that means I can flip the order if I'm adding. Okay, that's not going to change the answer. So let's just give an example with real numbers. 3 plus 4 gives me 7. And if I change the order, does 4 plus 3 still give me 7? And it does. Okay. So I'm going to use those same numbers, and it says, but is this true for subtraction? So let's find out. So if I have 3 minus 4, well, that gets me -1. But if I flip the order, I get a different answer. Okay. So flipping the order changes what I get. So yes, it does matter if I'm subtracting. If I'm adding and I get the same answer, it's fine if I have it flipped. Okay. All right. For this one, if A was 0 and B was also 0, then they would be equal. So that's one example of when would a value for A and B work to make it true if I flip the order. I believe that's the only way. Okay. Problem number 4 here. We're going to do a little drawing here. You have this diver that wants to get in there and take pictures. So obviously the diver is going to start at sea level or lake level. Okay, so we're going to call that 0. And they're going to dive to 25 feet. Well, that means they're going to dive down 25 feet. Okay. At that point, they rise back up 16 feet to get over this ridge, and then they dive down from there 47 feet. Okay, and then at that point, after they see what they want to see, then they go up 29 feet to this underwater cave. Okay. So if you look at directions, kind of like we did with number lines, to me that would be a negative value. 16 would be positive because I'm going up or towards 0. And then I go back down, so I'm going away from 0, so that'd be a negative number. And then I went back to 29. Okay, so if I wanted to do something, I could do minus 25 plus 16 minus 47 plus 29. And then what they're wanting to do, where is this diver after he does all this? Okay, so negative 25 plus 16 is going to get me -9. And I'm just rewriting it so you can see what I'm doing. Okay, -9 minus 47 gives me -56. then negative 56 plus 29 is going to get me negative 27 feet, or he's 27 feet below the surface. Okay. Where is the cave in relationship to sea level? The cave, it was kind of his last stop, was 27 feet below sea level, or below zero. Okay. All right. Okay, so that kind of takes us to the end. You know, once again, I go kind of quick, so if you need to, go back and listen to it again, get your notes filled in. Do the classwork. Make sure you're using your notes while you're doing the classwork. If you need any other help, let me know. All right, take care.